Kirsten
from the Apple Art Studio, back for some tutorials.
Yeah, welcome back. So we're very excited because today we're going to do some still life drawings and paintings. So hopefully you'll end up with something like this at the end. And we'll only need a few things, and hopefully you'll have most of these at home. So like a pencil to start off with, just start sketching.
Some coloured pencils or some watercolour pencils.
A rubber eraser in case you don't like something or you made a mistake.
Some fresh white clean paper.
And then just some objects around the house that you think would look cool to draw and paint. So we've just got like a little flower vase there and a mug. And we've got this beautiful vase that someone made at our studio.
And then you can also use things like a kettle.
Yeah, or like a bowl of fruit.
Or a piece of fruit.
Yeah, or books. Just really anything around the house that you think would be interesting to draw. So we'll give you a minute to
collect and gather those objects.
Yeah, and you can pause now and then resume when you've got everything ready.
Hi guys, welcome back. Hopefully you've got those objects and we can start playing around with a composition and, you know, sorting out different light sources, different kind of size objects together.
Yeah. And to begin with, so once you've got your arrangement and you're happy with it and you love how it's looking, we're just going to basically jump straight in. So we've got our sheets of paper here. And what's really important, which Beth and I find that, we do this as well, is that we draw what we think we want to see or what we think we're seeing instead of actually just drawing what we see, which is sometimes why still lifes can come out looking a little bit not exactly how they present to you, which is totally fine as well. I mean, as long as we're trying and, getting creative and having fun. But yeah, try and draw what you see.
And a good tip is to maybe start at an object that's in the forefront, that's in the front, and then work your way behind, or maybe a larger object could be a good idea to start with that first.
Yeah. And what can help as well, if you're feeling a little bit nervous about jumping into still lifes, is you can just lightly sketch on your paper, just like the general shapes of things, before you actually go in and do it in great detail, which can help get like the relationship between the objects and, it can just kind of help get you started if you're feeling a little stuck on where to go from.
And it's important to look at the lines and the curves and the relationship between both the positive spaces and the negative spaces.
Yeah. And I think as Beth mentioned before, like also where the light sources and the shadows that might be cast from the light, which is actually like a really cool activity within itself. So if you are really enjoying doing still lives and you're finding it really fun, you can do the same still life, but get a light source in from different sections, like different areas, and then draw it as they come, and you'll see where the different shadows end up and what bits are highlighted and not. So that's a really cool thing to do as well. And to keep in mind when doing this activity.
And we're working quite quickly at the moment because we know the shapes that we are using and the objects that we're using, and we've done some practicing. But it's good for you to take your time in this section and really look at the lines of each object.
Yeah, totally. So we might leave you there so we can get to sketching and you guys as well. And then you can resume when you've finished just with your pencil drawing like Beth is going along there. And we'll see you at the next bit, which will be colouring it in and doing details.
Hi guys, welcome back. Hopefully you've got your drawings like me and Kirsten do.
Yeah. So as you can see, Beth and I have two slightly different drawings because our view of the objects are slightly different, which is great. Which is also like another fun activity if you are enjoying doing the still life. You can move the objects around.
Or move yourself around.
Yeah, sit at a table and move around and just draw it from different angles.
And get different perspectives.
Yeah, so if you're enjoying this, then that's something else that you can do.
So now we're going to be looking at colour. I'm going to be using watercolour pencils.
Yeah, and I'm going to just be using normal pencils. So this is a great way to also add into like getting some shading and some shadows, because the harder that you press down on using your pencils, the darker it's going to be, which is really going to help get those effects for you.
And the lighter you press, obviously, the lighter the marks will be.
Yeah.
And this is really good to help get depth and get, you know, an object looking realistic and 3D-like.
Yeah. So it's all just about playing around with these different techniques.
You can layer the different colours.
Definitely, and use different colors to get different details from things. I'm not sure what you're using, but if you have any texts, or like we use different glazes and mix them over here, so we'll be layering and using different pencils for that. So we might leave you there, and you can keep going, and we're going to keep going with coloring in. When you resume, mine will be finished, but Beth still has an extra step because she's using watercolor pencils. So she's going to be finishing hers off on the next one. So we'll pause there and we'll see you soon.
See you in a minute.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So hopefully you have your pictures and they've got their colours on them. So I'm almost done. I'm just going to keep working on my shadows a little bit, but that's because I've just used the colouring in pencils, but Beth has one more step to do.
So because I've used watercolour pencils, I'm going to get a jar of water with a few brushes. Make sure you have some thicker ones and some thinner ones. And then pick an area that you want to start in. I'm going to start with the vase in the front. And I'm just going to start to blend the watercolours together. Blend the watercolour pencils together. And if you just kind of go in circle motions, keep your brush strokes nice and small.
And it does help, especially if you've got like a big picture, to do different areas of the picture at different times so that they don't bleed into each other, just in case you've got a lot of water on your page.
So I've done that green section of the vase now, and I'm going to choose maybe the blue lines of the mug to do next, because as Kirsten said, they're far away from each other, so the colours won't bleed. And then you can dip into more water when you want to. And you don't have to colour it all in with water. You can leave some bits just as the pencil if you prefer.
Yeah, it's good to have white bits as well, the empty spaces on your picture. So there we have it. As you can see, we've got two slightly different pictures, which is awesome. And we hope you enjoyed today's still life drawing, and we'll see you next time.